The ANC is holding its final rally this afternoon. Samkele Maseko on standby for us. Of course, as we were saying there before we interrupted, a hive activity there in Soweto at the moment. Where exactly are you, and what is happening at this time? I see people are slowly but surely gathering and certainly waiting for the leadership to get up on that stadium. Talk to us about what's happening.
Essentially, we are in Soweto floor, where the ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa will take to that podium, which is being set up at 7 o'clock this evening to deliver the ANC's final manifesto rally, which is the Siyanqoba rally, which will cut across 10 other platforms where the ANC is having these particular Siyanqoba rallies across all provinces of the country. All ANC top 6 leaders are deployed in all these rallies. The ANC's national chairperson, Gwede Mantashe, will be speaking in Maemalahleni in Woodbank. Then you'll have the deputy president of the ANC will be speaking in Stanza Bupapa at 5 o'clock this afternoon in Tshwane. And you'll also have the deputy secretary general of the ANC, Jesse Duarte, out in Katlehong, about a kilometer where the EFF was at, where the ANC in the Ekurhuleni region, which in the words of the ANC president Cyril Ramaphosa and his deputy David Mabuza, Ekurhuleni is one of the best metros run by the ANC, which their mayor is Mzwandile Masina. But in essence, the ANC has come to have its Siyanqoba rally, the main one in Soweto, which is the strong hub of the governing party when it comes to the number of votes in the city of Johannesburg. They did drop in 2016 when a number of people did not go out and vote due to the political machinations which were happening in the country, and also the national issues of fraud, corruption and allegations of money laundering which were happening during the era of former President Jacob Zuma at the helm. But in nowadays, in the current contemporary politics, ANC leaders are saying the only opposition they have in these upcoming elections in this specific municipality of Johannesburg and other municipalities across Gauteng and across the country is the failures of the power utility Eskom. The Deputy Secretary General Jesse Duarte of the ANC came out like a ton of bricks on the Eskom executives and the Eskom board, claiming that the Eskom must fix its issues because they are effectively decampaigning the governing party as they go to the polls on Monday and as the special votes start tomorrow on Saturday. But also you've got the president of the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa, whom we spoke to yesterday, whom downplayed the failures of Eskom and saying that the current load shedding, which was at stage 4, is not intentional, but rather it was an issue of mismanagement. It was an issue of failures within Eskom of oversight, and that the Minister of Public Enterprises, Pravin Gordhan, has been tasked to make sure that the issues of load shedding are eradicated by the time that Saturday morning comes. As you would know, that we are currently on stage 2 load shedding until 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. But the ANC is saying the only opposition they have to this election, particularly in Soweto, is the failures of power utility Eskom. A number of communities here for the past 2.5 years have been without electricity. You go to the area where the ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa grew up and is from, which is Shawelo. The community of Shawelo at some point even went to his sister's home in Shawelo to protest, to make sure that she tells her brother that they have got issues with Eskom and with electricity generation. They have said that a number of transformers have failed within the area of Eskom of Soweto due to illegal connections. The same issue is prevalent in areas such as Orange Farm, where the ANC president has been campaigning. Also in Ekurhuleni, in Katlehong, in Thokoza, they have had this very same issue of generators and transformers blowing up within that area due to illegal connections, and communities being left with 2 years without electricity. Now the ANC has gone back to seek those votes. There's also issues of service delivery, housing, which they will be speaking about in their Siyanqoba rally, which are being held across 10 different venues across the country.
Yeah, Samkele, it's interesting you talk about the issue of electricity. And I remember when the ANC, when there was campaigning going on in Soweto, and the ANC arrived, of course, President Cyril Ramaphosa being there, and there were some scuffles and people saying, you know what, we actually don't want to be addressed by the ANC. They're the cause of our problems. As we speak right now, there is no electricity. This is a Siyanqoba rally, and it seems, everyone seems happy. They seem to be, seated and ready to hear from the president. And I wonder if there's any remnants of that, of people who are saying, you know, we're still actually having issues with this, with electricity. I mean, I'm sure all South Africans at this point are struggling with the issue of load shedding. But that apart, Soweto has certainly had major issues when it comes to electricity. And I wonder if there are some people still speaking about that right now and saying, look, we're not going to support the ruling party in these elections.
Yes, there are some people who are saying, when we drove into Soweto, when we spoke to some people, they are saying that they are very much fed up with the issues of lack of service delivery from the governing party. There are some who are saying that we will give the ANC another chance, despite the ANC messing up and the ANC being tainted with allegations of fraud, corruption, money laundering and wrongdoing when it comes to government and having their hands in the cookie jar. Just the EFF leader this morning, this afternoon rather, when he was speaking in Katlehong, he spoke about how political parties must come together and sign a compact to make sure that there is provision of electricity, provision of water, provision of housing to the people of South Africa, and they must leave their political differences aside. Even the ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa did say that political parties must come together, they must sit around the round table and discuss on how they provide services to the people, particularly if these metros are going to be hung again like you saw in 2016. He is saying that he's going for the jugular. They want to take control of all of the municipalities outright. They want 54% outright majority in Ekurhuleni. They want to come back as a governing party after that thumping loss in Tshwane in 2016 when they got 41% of the electoral vote. They had a steady uphill when it comes to the 2019 general election, which was a national election where they were at 46% in the capital city. Their own Deputy President David Mabuza is stationed in Tshwane to make sure that they come back strongly and they try and reclaim the capital city. In Johannesburg, the ANC president has been deployed with the other ANC's national leaders in the NEC to try and make sure that the ANC gets about 45-46% or even 48% in the city of Johannesburg, to make sure that the government of local unity, GLU, comes back after the 1st of November elections on Monday, as the special vote starts on Monday. But issues of service delivery are certainly the drivers of these particular elections, and the ANC is saying that they are going back to basics. They want to provide services to the people. The mayor of Johannesburg, Mpho Moerane, was applauded by the president of the ANC in Orange Farm during the course of the week by having a clear, concrete plan on resolving the issues of the people of Orange Farm. But they have been in government from last year when Herman Mashaba resigned as the executive mayor of Johannesburg. It was first the late Jeff Makubu. After Jeff Makubu unfortunately passed away, Jolidima Tongo came in. He was there in the hot seat for about a month and a half until his untimely passing when he was campaigning with the ANC president here in Soweto. Now Mpho Moerane is at the helm and has been tipped to be coming back as the mayor of the city of Johannesburg. They've got a number of issues to try and resolve when it comes to the issues of service delivery. There is also the deplorable state that the people of Alexandra are living in, which the ANC president about 2 years ago when he was in Alexandra did say that the ANC government, to quote him correctly, is building about 1 million houses across the country, and that they are yet to identify a piece of land to build low-cost housing in Alexandra to help that particular community. I'm going to ask ANC Veterans League President Snuki Zigalala just to come and speak on what they anticipate on the Siyanqoba rally of the African National Congress. I am hijacking him as he is coming in now. He is the Veterans League President of the ANC. I hope you'd indulge us with about 3 or 4 minutes of his time. Mr. Zigalala, it's your Siyanqoba rally today.
Yeah.
The community of Soweto, some of them, Shawelo, Winnie Mandela Informal Settlement, they've been without electricity for about 2.5 years. Why should those people come out and vote for your party when it's failed to provide them with a basic necessity, which is electricity?
Well, I think they should come and vote for the ANC, because we as members of the NEC, especially as veterans, we've requested, especially ANC deployees in government, that the issue of telecom must be dealt with. Now, because people in Soweto have been struggling. There's been no electricity, and we are saying to them, especially employees, that where there is incompetence and negligence, the heads must roll. And so we cannot allow that to happen, especially to our constituencies where people have been struggling with electricity. It cannot happen, and it should not be allowed. And so we as Veterans League will ensure that Comrade Pravin and Comrade Mantashe make sure that electricity is supplied to our people, because it's embarrassing that we go to them many times and say we apologize, you should vote for us, it's important the ANC will deliver on a set of objectives, and government employees don't make sure that those things happen. And so that is why we are saying that they should vote for us. We are committed now. We'll make sure that people who are skilled, competent, are appointed in all those positions, so that you get service delivery to our people.
Mr. Zikalala, you speak about heads rolling. In my little understanding, the president in 2019 December said there was sabotage at Eskom. His deputy president later on came to say he was misled by Pravin Gordhan and the late Ntate Jabu Mabuza. This time around, Andre Director, the group CEO, and Minister of Public Enterprises Pravin Gordhan, they said that an employee who's part of generation in one of the substations was fired because he was negligent at his work. Why are subordinates being fired rather than those who are at the top echelons of power, like ministers? Why are they being let off the hook? Why is the group CEO of Eskom being let off the hook? But a low-hanging fruit, someone who's at a station, is rather taking the heat and losing his job instead of those who are in top power.
No, we as veterans will raise the issue that why should the minister address these issues? He has a board. Where is the board of Eskom? It's the board of Eskom that's the one that appoints managers. It's the one that manages Eskom. And so the board itself must take the flag. And so not the minister. The minister must not, because the minister appointed the board. And so it's up to the minister to call his board and say, this management that you have appointed, they are not doing the work. We are happy that the writers started saying that managers who have failed and who have found to have neglected their duties, they'll be dealt with. And so that's what is important. There has to be accountability in terms of managing Eskom itself. And so the Minister Pravin, must call his board so that the board must account to him. He can't keep on meeting with managers. He's not a person who's in charge of Eskom. The board is in charge.
Mr. Zikalala, there have been a myriad of issues within your own organization within these elections. There have been allegations of corruption, leaders having their hands in the cookie jar. Your own president, Thabo Mbeki, former president rather, speaking with professionals and business people in Durban and here in Gauteng, spoke about a degeneration in the quality of membership within the African National Congress. When I arrived here, these elderly community members, veterans of the ANC, said that youngsters and newbies in the party are being treated as VVIPs, yet they are languishing in poverty. What do you have to say about that?
No, it's true what Comrade Mbeki said. It's true that there is a degeneration, especially in terms of the quality of people who are joining the African National Congress. Now, we as veterans, we are saying that we're not sitting on our laurels. We're making sure that in each and every structure of the ANC, Veterans League plays an important role. We are encouraging veterans to set up, to be part and parcel of the branch executive committee, where people who join the ANC will be vetted by veterans, to make sure that we have people who have come to join the ANC not to disrupt activities of the ANC, but to serve the ANC, not to serve themselves. And so we as veterans, that's the process that we're taking. We as veterans, we are the ones who are driving the unity and renewal program of the African National Congress, because we have a lot to lose. If the ANC loses power, it means that this country is going down the docks. We cannot allow the ANC to lose power at all. And so we as veterans are taking up the cudgel. We are saying that we're going to make sure that we fix the ANC, we cleanse the ANC. Those who infiltrated the ANC think that they're just coming to earn a living. It's not about earning a living, it's about serving society.
Mr. Zikalala, on the last point, you raised issues of power. What percentage are you looking at? You've lost a number of metros out of the 8 metros in the country. In my understanding, I think you are only governing 4 or 5. The others are in the hands of opposition parties or coalition governments. What percentage are you looking at getting in the mostly and hotly contested city of Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni and Tshwane?
Well, we are very optimistic that we'll get those cities back. because society still has confidence in us. We have put in mechanisms of, firstly, interviewing all the mayors. All the mayors will be interviewed. And if a mayor does not have the skill, is not competent, he cannot be the mayor. If the mayor does not have a strategy, how he brings in investment in his town, how he ensures that he employs skilled engineers in the town, how he ensures that he has got a strategy of picking up rubbish in the town, how to develop the town itself, he cannot get a job. And so we are saying there'll be quarterly programs where we who have interviewed those mayors will be able to hold them accountable, because there'll be what you call a job description, there'll be performance agreements, and of course if they don't perform, tough luck. And so we are putting those mechanisms in place, and we are confident that we'll be able to regain the trust of society, because those are mechanisms that we put in place because society believes in policies of the ANC, but people don't eat words. People want to see action on the ground.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zigalala. That is the president of the ANC's Veterans League speaking about the Asiyanqoba rally and what they're anticipating will happen in these metros come the 1st of November. With special votes starting tomorrow, they are seeking to reclaim ground on these lost metros that they have. In 2016, Flo, people had to jump over refuse in the eThekwini municipality in Durban. In June this year, there was unrest, there was looting. As former President Mbeki says of the ANC, it was a clear sabotage on national government in order to try and cripple it. This time around, South Africans go to the polls on Monday on the backdrop of being load shed at stage 4. Speak about providing the essence of basic services to the people when they are sitting in the dark.
All right, Samkele Maseko, thanks very much. We'll catch up with you at a later stage. Of course, at this time, we're awaiting the ANC President, Cyril Ramaphosa, to arrive in Soweto and, of course, address ANC members who are indeed out in Soweto awaiting his arrival at this time. So I'm going to speaking to Snuki Zigalala, who is now the president of the ANC Veterans League. We'll get you more from Soweto later on in our bulletins. For now, though, let's take a short break. More news after